Good morning. Welcome to the Committee on Public Safety, Judiciary, and Homeland Security. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner Kinlock, Commissioner Garza,
Here.
Commissioner Clementi,
Here.
Commissioner Dobb,
Here.
Chair Clark Coleman.
Here.
You have a quorum present.
Thank you. The next item,
B, Chairwoman's remarks.
I have none. Other than go Tigers. Okay,
C, approval of the September 11, 2024 meeting minutes.
can I have a motion?
Motion to approve. Support.
Been properly moved by Commissioner Clemente and supported by Commissioner Dobbs. Are there questions on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Those opposed? The motion carries. Next item.
D, unfinished business. There is none listed.
Okay,
Item 1, under new business, forwarding the August 2024 report on Sheriff's Office overtime costs.
okay. We have someone here from the Sheriff's Office to report. Bonita Terry.
Good morning, Vanita Terry, Director of Administration for the Sheriff's Office. Here to report for this is the August 20th report for our overtime. So as of that July 30th, 2024, the overtime budget at that time was 8.3 million. And we actually had a cost of 14.5, overage of 6.1 or 6.2 million. 363 vacant police positions and 44 civilian.
Say that again.
It was,
Are you on?
yes, maybe I'll pull it a little closer.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
How many vacancies?
At that time, it was 363
Wow.
with 444 civilian vacant positions.
How many of these are deputies?
363 are deputy.
Wow.
And so we had 17 recruits that were to start the jealous training that was back in September, on September 9th. And through that time, we had lost 40 officers to retirement, resignation, or what have you.
Okay,
So through the fiscal year, we've had a total of 57 recruits, new officers, and we lost 40. So we're trending in the right place. That means we're up 17, yay. When it comes to the FMLA, we have 113 active FMLAs. And for this fiscal year, we've had 16 that tested positive for COVID.
wow.
And that was the report for August 20th,
Okay.
2024.
Okay. And the September?
September through August 31st, 2024, still the same budget of 8.3 million. Overtime actual cost 18.5. Overage was 10.2. Still at that time, 363 vacant police positions with 44 civilian, and still with the 17 recruits of the class that started on September the 9th.
September 9th.
Yes, that class is due
Okay.
to graduate on October the 25th,
How many is in that class?
17.
And when are they scheduled to graduate?
October the 25th.
Okay,
So that still keeps us at the 57. Total number of officers lost through September was 43, where we have a net of 14. I'm not sure of the actual class size that we're working on now, but we do have individuals scheduled for the next class. I just don't have the exact number.
okay.
So we have 110
Who's first?
active FMLAs. And we were still at positive for 16 COVID positive results.
Okay, I don't know. Who's first?
Mary.
Kara.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Mhm.
Just, so when does the next class start? You said you don't know.
The next class,
many,
this
but-
class is going to end in October, so the next class probably will be in November sometime. It depends on how many we have for the class size.
So we don't have any overlapping right now?
Oh, no, we're not doing that right now.
Okay, okay, very good. Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay. Commissioner Garza.
Yeah, just one question, just to clarify, because that was actually one of my questions, Commissioner. So there's 363 vacancies for deputy positions
Yes,
and then 44 civilians, so there's 407 total vacant positions.
yes.
Okay, thank you. Just want to clarify that.
And it's my understanding that historically, approximately 100 has always been vacant, even when we were fully staffed.
Okay, Commissioner Kinlaw.
Yeah, Madam Chair. Okay, so we understand that 300 and some odd vacancies, but also we have to take into account the 30% FMLA folks who are taking, are off for FMLA. And so that's adding to the need for officers as well. And
Yes.
a lot, so what I want to ask, because it seems like a lot of the recruitment numbers or the folks going through the class are about the same. Has the department brought on those additional recruiters to assist with that? And the question about the training classes, is there a time or is there a plan to have multiple classes going at the same time? Or is it because of the small number of individuals who are currently, I guess, going through the class, it doesn't warrant having an additional class? But I know that we had talked about having potentially multiple classes going so that we can get individuals faster through the system.
Yes, we had discussed having a kind of like a round-the-clock class where if officers come in, potential officers, they would not have to wait till the next class would
Right.
start. They could come in at any particular module and then take the modules that they missed towards the end and still graduate with that class. However, that has not started. Right now, we have brought on additional recruiters. So we have 3 new additional recruiters in addition to what we had. So we have a total of 6 right now. And we have background investigators. So we had to increase the background investigator load in order to handle the applications coming in. That's where the time frame is spent just doing the background investigation. So we have more background investigators now. We're currently trying to add to that number as well, and in our training unit.
Thank you.
You say you have added,
Yes, we've
already you've
added,
added the background investigators?
we have approximately 5, I believe it's 5 new background investigators on our team. So we're looking at least 11 background investigators as of now.
Mhm.
And then we have 6 recruiters. That includes the director of recruiting as well, though.
That includes the
The
director.
director.
How long have they been on board?
So our new recruiters have been on board one has been there like 30 days and the other approximately 3 weeks. So they're fairly
Okay,
new.
so they're new.
New, and they're out right now just basically shadowing the recruiters that has been there, training with them.
Mhm. So we won't really see the products.
Product. But then we are looking
yet.
at continuing to keep as our project consultants that we have, that are former deputies, moving them over into our recruiting area because they worked on our jail transition team. They retired from the sheriff's office and they're very familiar. They're actual retired deputies.
Have we brought any of those on?
They're with us now. They're with us
What
now.
are
They're
they,
just
what are they
working.
doing now?
They're working in a different capacity. They're finishing up with the jail transition.
With the jail transition?
Mhm.
And then you're gonna utilize those for?
Recruiting and background investigators.
Okay.
One more.
Yeah, go ahead.
Additional question. So, I know that been conversations around. Has there been conversation around identifying or engaging a consultant to assist with recruiting? Because there's a lot of different aspects to recruiting and new hires. So I do understand that using retired officers or, that's because of the familiarity with the system operations and can give some historical information to potential candidates. But has there doubling down on getting additional recommendations on modifying approach or any of those type of things? Because I know a lot of times, when it comes to recruiting, sometimes external, I guess consulting is, can be helpful.
Well, I do know that we are leading more aggressive campaign as far as recruiting advertising, and that we're looking at working with professionals in that aspect to help us with our recruiting efforts.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, are there any other? Okay, can I have a motion to receive and file item number 1 and 2?
So moved.
Support.
Properly moved by Commissioner Dobbs, supported by Commissioner Clemente. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the motion carries. Next item.
Item 3, requesting commission approval of retroactive amendment 2 to a 2-year contract with 1 2-year option to renew with Detroit Rescue Mission Ministries to continue providing community-based residential rehabilitation for adult offenders who remain in the criminal justice system and are homeless or diagnosed with mental health or substance use disorders.
Okay,
Move approval.
No support.
Thank you. Thank you.
been properly moved by Commissioner Kenlock, supported by Commissioner Dobbs. Are there questions on the motion?
Madam Chair, at the meeting, I would like to be the maker of that motion. Thank you.
Okay.
We probably want to hear why it's retro,
Okay.
please.
Well, it is retro, date-wise. However, we have not sent any residents to the service to get services. So retro, we're short of staff. I have 1 person in contract. So between those movements and just trying to get the assistance there, caused our contracts to fall behind. So we have a few contracts that's coming through this retro, but we have not had any services on them.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Can I get a oh, you did, we already have a motion. Okay, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the motion carries. Next item.
Item 4, requesting commission approval of modification 2 to the prosecuting cold cases using DNA grant award with the U.S. Department of Justice, Office of Justice Programs, Bureau of Justice Assistance.
Good morning, Tony.
Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the committee. I'm Tony Guerrero, Chief of Legislation, Grants, and Community Relations for the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office. What you have before you today is modification number 2 to a grant called Prosecuting Cold Cases Using DNA. This grant is between Wayne County and the U.S. Department of Justice. There's no change in the dollar amount. This merely extends the term by a year. This goes all the way back to 2020. It'll be from October the 1st of 2020 through September the 30th of 2025. This grant assists the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office Homicide Unit and the Detroit Police Department in using DNA technology to investigate homicides that occurred between the years 2015 and 2017. The grant amount remains at $470,000, and we would hope that the committee would approve this request. Thank you.
So we're just really extending the term.
Yes, that's the extent of it.
Okay.
I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Move for approval.
Support.
Or
Thank you.
Been properly moved by Commissioner Dobbs, supported by Commissioner Clemente. Are there questions on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
aye.
Those opposed? The motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item.
F, such other matters as may be properly submitted before the committee.
I've not been informed of any.
G, public comments.
Okay, are the lines open?
The lines are open.
Okay, all right. It is now time for public comment. If there's anyone on Zoom or in here in the chamber or on the phone, now is the time to speak. Anyone desiring to speak under public comments can do so at this time. Last call for public comment. Anyone on Zoom or here in our chamber or on the phone should make that comment at this time. Okay, Madam Clerk, do we have any emails?
There are no emails.
Okay, all right, then at this point, public comment has ended. Next item.
Adjournment.
Move to adjourn?
Probably moved by Commissioner Dobbs, supported by Commissioner Garza. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, this meeting is adjourned.